what up? It's me, Donnie C, and I am your host of the Diamond Lounge, and I have back with me, turning to work.
What it do is your boy Scrappy do.
But we also have three very special guests with us. Three very special because they are married men defying the stereotypical odds that has played our culture. No I'm playing, but I am excited to be sitting here with none other than Ringo. Well, I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourself. So first, I have Mr. Ringo.
How y'all doing? Name is Ringo. We need to talk 23 podcast.
That baritone, look at that. And then I have Mr. James.
Good evening. My name is James Lampkin. My podcast is Conversations with Lamp.
Oh, wait a minute. I think he beat you a little bit, Ringo. And now I have Mr. DeJuan.
Oh, yeah, didn't know. What's going on? DeJuan J, host of the Grown Man Logic podcast.
All right, and these are three very grown men, and
So why you put special and grown men in front of my name? Why? Cause I ain't married or something. You know what I'm saying?
well, dude, if you said it, I don't need to say it. So anyway, we're gonna get focused on our show for today. No,
Do.
but so we just came off of a little show speaking to single folks. It wasn't intended to be single folks, but it just turned out that everyone happened to be single. And I didn't realize that until after the fact. So I wanted to focus in on married couples and married people. And I got three married men, and I have three married ladies come up with the next one. But for right now, I'm going to focus on with you men. And it's going to be all about y'all, right?
Oh,
Let's go.
So, so just kind of an icebreaker to get started, kind of a little bit off topic, but not. I just want to know, what do y'all feel about the whole Dave Chappelle incident and his comedy special, them trying to cancel it? It's not getting canceled so far, but what do y'all think about that? What are y'all views? Was he wrong? Did he go too far? Was it too much? Are we as a society just too sensitive? Is the LGBTQ community doing too much? Like, what do y'all think?
I'll start. I just think society as a whole is overly sensitive for no damn reason, and I think the media plays a huge part in that, of pushing that bullshit narrative. Because if you listen to the special, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the very first thing that he says is that he's jealous of the LGBTQ community because they can work together and get things done. And we've been trying, us as black people have been trying to do the same thing for 400 years, and we still can't get it right. But they only focus on, that one part when he says whatever it was he said that offended them. But that's the part that they stick to, and that's the part that the media is gonna run with, not the whole part, not the whole show.
I could honestly, I was like you. I'm like, okay, wait. What were y'all offended by at this time? Were y'all offended because he said it's not quite the same? Because it's not. Like, were y'all offended because he identified that, hey, to birth a child you do have to be born a woman, which is the truth. Like, I didn't know what part offended them.
Man, but like Ringo say, they too sensitive, and it's like now you can't even say anything that's even revolved around being gay or queer, or like you can't say nothing without them being reacting
But that's a
some type of
dangerous
way.
society to start implementing. Like, that's when you get into that China culture of
Yeah,
being,
dictatorship. That's what
yeah,
we're moving
like that ain't
towards.
it. But what about y'all, the other two gentlemen? Y'all chilling over there quiet. What do y'all think about it?
Listen, we live in a world full of hypocrites, right? Is ultimately what it comes down to. Because these same people that are trying to cancel Dave Chappelle are the same people on social media talking about I said what I said. So why is it okay for you to say what you said, and it ain't okay for him to say what he said?
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who wants to come and debate or discuss or anything like that, you kick them out of your echo chamber. You know what I mean? You mute them. You cancel us. You kick us out of your little bubble of political correctness, or political correctness according to you. So I think it was Damon Wayne that said that Dave Chappelle did something. He's freeing comics from like the constraints of political correctness. I mean, if you look at all of the greats, the Red Foxes, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, their funniest stuff was the shit they quote unquote shouldn't have been saying. Right? It made us laugh. And why have we come to a point in this country where we can't take a fucking joke? He's a comedian.
That's a good question because, like you said, comedy I thought was all about poking fun at what is going on, what is happening, what is real, and that is whatever it is, like taking a stab at it or whatever, and making light of it in some kind of way. That was always my understanding of comedy. You know, I'm not saying there's not racist comics out there or homophobic comics out there or whatever, but I think that word in itself is used way too loosely and in a dangerous way. Everything is not homophobic. Just because I speak out on something does not mean I in any kind of way hate you or am scared of you or am trying to what?
But the thing is too, like you say, it's comedy. If you already know you easily be offended of what people gonna say and all that, why even tune in? Why even go to the shows? Why even do all that?
So they can be on attack.
So you know, because everybody gets attacked at a comedy show.
Nah, but they be really like, oh, cancel.
Everybody, so you can talk about blacks all day, you know what I'm saying, and you sit there say something about whites and all this shit, but then soon you start talking about the LGBT,
and that's
it's get canceled.
And
automatic. It's just like, what the fuck?
And the thing is, like, going back to what Ringo said, I think it's a matter of, like how you said, you know, being jealous of that community because of how they come together. And I think that's what we are, as black people, are missing. This is why we do need allies. The reason why that community is so strong is because it's not just one single race. It's all of them, you know? So it's literally a global community. So therefore, they are going to have more of a powerful impact and punch because of the fact that it's not just black people, it's not just white people, it's not just Hispanic, Asian. It's we all come together, and this is our one like-minded, you know, goal or representation, whatever. And so they focus on that. Us as black people, we have to accept that we are more of a minority, and not only that, but we also separate ourselves culturally. So we go from being, okay, we all just black to, no, well, I'm African, well, I'm Jamaican, or I'm with, you know, I'm this and I'm that. So we find all these other ways. I'm light skinned, I'm dark skinned. So we find all these ways to separate ourselves more and more and more. And basically all we're doing is isolating ourselves. And that's why we're making our battle that much harder than, you know, than the next marginalized group, so to speak, that really isn't that marginalized when you think about, like I said, the whole aspect of it. Like, they really are globally all-inclusive. Mm-hmm. But what about you, James?
Man, to be honest, I mean, I'm not in the LGBT community, so it's like, I wasn't offended, but I think, honestly, the people who really should be taking a hard look is black women, because to me, Chappelle views on black women could be troubling. Like, if you look, he always calling black women bitches and negative. He always got negative comments about black women. So if anybody should be offended, because at least with LGBT, he did say he was jealous. I mean, he did kind of like paint some positive, but when you look at that special, he didn't really say nothing positive about black women. It was like, notice when he did a little negative stuff, he'd be like, oh, you must have been hanging around a black bitch, or, you know, stuff like that.
See, I ain't watched the special, so I don't know.
Yeah, so
because y'all know I would have went in on the whole bitch word. But
y'all just heard clips of it. I ain't caught that part.
Really, his views on black women, to me, is more troubling than anything.
I've been missing them views. Let me see. I need to do some research there. I ain't know that part about it.
Go back and look at this stand up. It's like it's always something negative. Like, oh, like I said, that one part where he was like, oh, you must have been hanging around black bitches, or like, it's always black followed by bitches. So
he wanted them black men.
But to me, that's almost a lot of the comedians.
A lot of what comedians?
That refer saying black like bitches and all that shit when they be talking about women.
No,
I mean,
you got like this.
Still an issue.
No, I'm not saying, but it's like I say, it's comedy, and if you gonna be offended, don't go to a comedy show. Don't listen to comedy specials, because everything is said to be funny.
But this is the thing. So even with that being said, it's not funny. But even with that being said,
don't listen to
the fact that I haven't. I don't support him like that. But I just don't support the whole trying to cancel everything and everybody just because you don't like specifically what they said, so to speak. And in that sense, and to me, I'm like, all that community is doing is pointing out the hypocrisy of it all. Because like you just said, Jane, like I said, I really don't know what was all said. I didn't watch the special. I don't know. But for that community to be so up in arms because he said something against gay, I don't even know what he said against. I still don't, whatever. The fact that he said something that they don't like and that might have hurt their feelings. But at the same time, he spoke on, like you said, negatively on black women. There are gay black women. If you want to call yourself trans, you call yourself a trans woman as a black person. So why weren't you offended by that? Where is the unity when it comes to sticking up for that side of yourself, so to speak? Go ahead.
But here's the thing: we're talking about fucking Dave Chappelle, right? We're talking about Dave Chappelle. Like, I don't understand how come like people went on there and expected all of a sudden because Time's Up and Me Too and all of this stuff happened. They expected Dave Chappelle. We're talking about Dave Chappelle, the same guy who brought us a black Ku Klux Klansman. We're talking about the same guy who brought us a slave being whipped on TV. We're talking about the guy who took on the entire police department of America after that happened to Mr. Floyd. We're talking about the same guy. So why do we get on here and expect them to expect him all of a sudden to say what we want him to say? We're talking about Dave fucking Chappelle.
I think it's just people in general, because I'll give you another example. It's just like the whole thing with Lil Nas X. If that's not your lane, if that's not your shit, don't pay it any attention. Most of today's music I don't like, so I don't listen to it. So I'm not gonna go listen to it just so I could be offended by it and complain about it on social media.
Right.
This shit's not for you. Turn the shit off. That's all.
Ringo, like, I ain't going to look for a reason to be mad.
Cause that's exactly what everybody doing. They go watch it and they get mad by what they see or what they hear. This is like, what's the point?
So is it because nowadays everyone wants to have a voice? Everybody wants to be able to say something. To me, I feel like everybody wants a podcast. Right now, that's what it seems like. Everybody wants a platform. Everybody wants a reason to be like, look, listen to me. And so in order to have that reason, I have to go look for stuff that's wrong. I have to go look for stuff that's going on. I have to go look for something to talk about, right? And that's what I think is happening. Like, everyone's trying to look for a reason to go viral.
Well, I think it's because people don't have a purpose.
Yeah.
People don't wake up like on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like I say that all the time. You have to wake up on purpose. In other words, like what is your mission in life? What is your point for being here? Like why? Like what is your calling? Why are you not actively working towards that? Right? Just like Ringo said, like the whole Lil Nas X thing, right? Like I don't care about that shit. So like it doesn't. I'm not tuning in. I don't feel either way about it. Like if my audience wants to talk about it on the podcast, like sure, I'll address it. But I don't have like feelings to it. I'm not going to look for that to be angry. I don't care. I'm too busy work like on purpose.
No, I think a lot of people. I think the people that focus in and pay attention to that type of shit are the least creative people. They're looking for low hanging fruit. I give you a good example. Like I had somebody DM me and ask me how come I don't talk about Kevin Samuels. I don't give a shit about Kevin Samuels
At all.
I don't want the low hanging fruit. Are his videos entertaining? They can be, but I'm not going to talk about it because then I'm doing what every other podcast is doing, or most of the other podcasts are doing. I don't want to talk about the same shit that 100 people are talking about. It's a waste of time.
You don't need your publicity.
At all. That's like, and he's another one. I do not agree with him most of the time. I see no purpose in me listening to him, following him any kind of way. But again, I'm not for signing any competition to get him canceled because it's easy to not listen to him. It's easy to not talk about him. Don't go to his page. Ladies, he's offensive. Don't call that man. And then the lady, that's why I say I feel like the people that do it, they're looking for some kind of clout. The women that call him, I'm like, y'all wanted this attention.
But that's a lot. Because like even when people go on social media and just to talk down on whatever celebrity or whatever, just to say anything negative, I'm like, what's wrong with you to make you go on this person's page to say something negative? Whatever you don't like what you seen, just keep on scrolling or unfollow the motherfucker. So it's like, why you that bothered to where you feel like you have to go with somebody else
Okay,
shit
it's clout
to
chasing.
be this, so
People trying to get their name in some kind of way. Look, if they respond to me or if they retweet what I said,
that screenshot.
or if any of that, I get some kind of recognition. It's clout chasing. But all right, hopefully we moving into something positive, because like I said, I'm here with all these married men. I'm believing y'all are happily married men. Is that fair to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So with that being said, real quick, can y'all give me can everyone say how long you've been married? Like, not only how long you've been married, but also how long have you been in that relationship, period?
I'll go first. I've been with my wife for 18 years and been married 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go. I've been with my wife 20 years, married 18.
Ooh.
And we've been together 6 and married for 3.
Okay, we got some heavy hitters in here for real. These some serious men. So, y'all been out that matters because for the most part, y'all kind of been out the game for a good amount of time. Okay, y'all have been doing this dating single, so y'all really can't relate, or do y'all feel like y'all can relate to the stream?
Social media don't let us be out the game.
You don't think so?
No, that's a fact.
You have to keep paying attention. So no, like I don't feel like I mean, if you're talking like when you're talking about actively dating, yes, but like far as what's going on, nah, but you can't be. It's like even if you on social media, you have no choice but to at least know the game. Just sitting on the sidelines watching.
What? That's true, but I mean, as far as out of it, as far as experiencing it personally, that's what I meant.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm on the game. I've been
Look, yeah, right. I ain't got to worry about that. So, with that being said, I just want to ask you, so fellas, before you got married, before you got married, did you know that you just wanted, like, did you come to this kind of epiphany moment of feeling like, you know what, it's time, I'm ready to get married, let me get serious about it? Or is that something that happened for you after you met your wife and then you started feeling like, I think I'm ready? Because this kind of matters in this day and age because a lot of people are getting married later, and I feel like men now are getting that epiphany moment now of, okay, now I'm ready. Now let me start getting serious, as opposed to
I got my whole stage out the way.
Yeah, but I wonder, like, so how did that work for y'all?
I'll go. Nah, for me, I never wanted to get married, honestly. I mean, it is what it is. I didn't want to get married. And then when I met my wife, it's just, my wife is total opposite of everything opposite of all of the women that I was used to dealing with prior to getting married. And that's what attracted me to my wife. And then, like.
Your wife was a fighter.
I got tired of ripping and running, pretty much, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, be honest, you go through your whole phase, bouncing from bed to bed, all this other shit. And, my epiphany moment, honestly, was I got bored one night, and I called this chick that I was hanging out with, and I hit her up, and she's like, oh, I'm busy tonight. My phone was dry as hell. I was home by myself. I was so mad. I'm just like, fuck this, you know what I mean?
I need some in-house. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like I said, you get tired of ripping and running, and it's just like, I'm single, you know what I mean? And I got got X amount of women that I'm dealing with. Then when I hit 2 or 3 of them up, oh, I'm busy. I'm like, what the fuck?
You ain't supposed to be busy.
The problem.
Somebody was supposed to be available.
No, but that's be the problem though. It's like all of a sudden it be all of them at the same time. Like
that's when your feelings get hurt.
All of y'all at the same time, all of a sudden busy.
Because they all got lives, and it's not you.
But y'all did. Y'all communicated together and shit. Be like, you know what? This nigga hit us up today. We gonna say fuck him.
Yeah, that's how I felt. They hurt my feelings.
He said it hurt my feelings. Okay, yeah, and just real quick shout out. So Ringo's love story with his wife is very entertaining, interesting. So if you have a chance, go to his page, go to his podcast, check it out. It's one of those 20s love stories. We ain't doing that at 40, but if you in your 20s, you might be able to relate to some of the things that they went through. So go ahead and check that out. But what about you, DeJuan? I'm gonna save the tenure for last. So, the seasoned one for last. I'm sorry, James.
Well, no, the season one went first.
No, James James was more had more years than
He's
DeJuan. I
18.
mean
Yeah,
Ringo.
he's 18. I'm 10.
Okay. Nah, yeah, I'm a Ringo actually. Like, I never actually wanted to. I'm an extremely logical person, and to me, there's no benefit in marriage for men. So I never don't roll your eyes. I'm just
I'm
saying,
not.
like,
No,
but
we're gonna get on that. Go ahead.
but but it was kind of one of those things where like I'm a Taurus. For those of y'all who know what that means, like I'm a relationship person. I prefer to be in a relationship more than I don't.
hmm
So at that point, like, we were doing the whole like living thing, you know what I mean, like the kids thing, like, what I'm saying. It was kind of just like, all right, well, shit, like the next logical step is to go ahead and get this tax break too. so
Did you say
nah,
brick?
He's a tax break.
yeah,
Oh,
man. Nah,
wow.
like I said, I mean, like I said, like I love my wife, like to death, like, or to life, I should say. But like at the end of the day, like if you sit and think about it, you could do the same thing as a live-in boyfriend or girlfriend. Like it was never like on my like list of things to do as I was coming up, and I got married later in life. Like I had to become a competitor first. Had to get all my fuck shit out of the way, right? Learn how to be like emotionally intelligent and like mentally sensitive to like what she actually needed prior to, and then I had to, like, from my personal standpoint, I had to like stack my money up where I can like actually, like, in the event that she went down and she could not work or wouldn't work or whatever, then like the family's good. And like once all of those things were in place, like the next logical thing to do was to get married. So
Okay. Okay. like I said, I'm gonna come back to that whole. We'll come back to that. But
I'm
James,
here for it.
what about you?
So I met my wife when I was 21. So no, I did not. My plan was not to get married. We was just dating, having fun, and it just started getting more serious, and like we were dating for let's see, like 17, 18 months, but we had moved together like 8 or 9 months in, and we just started making a life together, and we just started talking about marriage, and next thing I know, we walking down the aisle.
So, do y'all think it's fair to say that maybe, and that's why I said, because I think y'all are part of a different generation, because for the most part, I think all of y'all fairly got married young. Like y'all all got married in your 30s, right?
Yeah, well, no,
Yeah.
20s.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot, James. 20, but either 20 or early 30s, right?
Yeah.
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 So that's what I'm saying. So y'all were, and I asked that because as a woman, I know I've been told and heard from not just other women, but a lot really from men that, oh, a man, around 30, that's when they start to get, serious and that the maturity level kicks in. They ready to settle down and got their little hoe oats on or whatever. So it's around that age that you're going to get that man that's ready for marriage, whatever. And it's kind of sounded like, except for, like I said, James, like y'all kind of fit into that mold. Would you agree? Like it kind of just happened around that age.
Well, I'll say this: if I didn't get married at the age that I did, I don't know if I would have got married.
Oh,
I think to me, I think it's easier to get married. It's easier to get married while you're younger because as you start getting older, you start accumulating more women, start dealing with more personalities. You start being more choosy about what you can deal with. Like with me, I was only 21, and I never really been around a lot of women. So my wife was special enough where I didn't have to deal with a lot of women. So for me, it was easier. Where if I started dealing with more women, dating more women, I probably would have acquired a different taste, maybe. Then I probably would have started making more money, getting more options. So
James.
nah, I probably wouldn't have did it later. I think it was good to do it early for me.
So you see what's happening in these streets, and you really are saying you would pick the single life right now?
It's not that I would have picked it. It's just because of who I am. I probably would have just been single because, like I said, the problem. I hate to use the word problem, but the reality is men have options, and because you have options, you want to exercise your options. So
Oh, child.
you
But
keep
and I
exercising, you get, you know, the more options you exercise, the more options you exercise, the harder it is to make that decision. Whereas me, I only had one option,
I,
so
that's
well
interesting.
it was a
well,
great option.
and also too, like you got to realize, like around the times like we met, like our wives, like the dating pool wasn't as like fucked up as it is right now. Too, like you know what I'm saying, like it wasn't. So like it was, you know what I'm saying. Around the time that we first started like linking up and actually started to think about this kind of stuff, like you know, it wasn't like a Twitter or a Facebook or a men ain't shit or you know what I'm saying? Like, no, there was none of these movements going on. It was like everybody was like, I'm not gonna say everybody was like a wholesome person. I'm far from that, but like, what's going on now compared to when we all got out the game? You know, it's like night and day. I
Yes.
look like I don't think that I could have survived like in today's dating game. To be perfectly honest, like you know what I'm saying? I don't think I could have survived.
But I don't think it's the people change. I think it's just social media.
So
Like
before I look
people are
like
just
Jaheim.
people are just
Oh.
talking about the experiences more, and people have more access to your experiences. I don't think it's like I think the dating pool has always been what it is. It's just more people are talking about it, and more people have, you know, more people have, whether their platform is big or small, you still have a platform to talk about your experiences. So more people are hearing it. So then it's like, you know, people hear your experience. Oh yeah, I can relate to that. Then they carry that conversation on. Then somebody else chime in because they want to debate your experience. So
I can understand that because it's kind of like the whole thing with like camera phones now recording police brutality, and everyone's like, oh, it seems like it's just now happening or it's a new thing. It's like, but no, it's always been happening. We just have camera phones now, and you know people can record it because of technology. But it's always been an issue. It's always been a thing. So like I said, with social media now, all these things have always been here. They've always been an issue. It's always been a problem. But now with social media, it's like, well, here's for everyone to see. Hello
Yeah,
world. This is
yeah,
how effed up the
and
world.
then by social media too, you can see some of these people true characters start coming out because they're on there all the time enough. Instead of then like back then, since it wasn't social media, you probably weren't seeing your person, you know, the person you with. You probably weren't seeing them all the time like that. So shit, it's like
Like you
every
like,
time.
I ain't know you
So
were like
so,
that.
so almost every time you seen them, it down there was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like shit,
Well,
cause
I mean, no, sorry, not to cut you, man.
go ahead.
I think no, I think the people like up until like recently, man, like 2010s, like you know what I'm saying, people were actually more marriage minded, right? And that's what I'm saying to change. So like yeah, all of the dirt and the bullshit has always been around, but I think that around like 2010, 2012, people was like, yo, why do we have to continue to conform to this like you know what I'm saying this standard? And I think that there was a mentality shift, and that's why now it's so it's just so tainted. It's so like fucked up, man. Because everybody's mentality shifted. Like beforehand, it was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna date this person, regardless if it works out. I'm gonna date this person, and this could potentially be something. Right around like 2012, 2010, somewhere around there, it was kind of like, look, you ain't good for nothing but you know what I'm saying, a good 45 minutes to an hour. Your cabs coming, the street lights are off, we out of here, right? That's when it started like switching.
Oh.
No, I think, but I mean, to be honest with this, and I'm not out here looking none of that shit, but it's just like raw sewage in this dating pool. This shit is terrible.
It's
You know,
terrible.
It
yes,
is, but I'm not. Just to be clear, I'm not in the dating pool they talking about. Okay, 'cause
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I'm on the outside of that raw suit.
Because it's more of an agenda now than trying to find somebody that truly makes you happy and to build with. It's like everybody looking for their own personal
Facts.
agendas and shit.
It's gotten
Fact.
very selfish. Like, and I would say it got. I feel like it's gotten very selfish on both sides. That's why I always tell people, people have turned dating into a prostitution ring. But I'm not gonna go there tonight. But I've said
And
it.
I mean, but, and I agree, and that's the thing. That's what I was gonna say. That's what sort of makes the dating pool so toxic is that nobody knows who the hell they are or what they really like. They're looking at whether it's Kim Kardashian, whether you're looking at Will and Jada, Jay Z and Beyonce. They want that, but they don't have what it takes to be that. So nobody knows exactly who the hell
Oh,
they are in order to obtain that, but they think that they have it.
But you
You should
don't
be a
know
piece of
what
shit, male or female.
you don't know what they are doing. That's why I so
Exactly.
hate the whole marriage goals like why would you pick any couple that you're not living with day in day out and say this is my goal? I have like I said, I can respect all of y'all marriages and I think it's awesome that y'all are married. I am none of y'all are my goal. Cause I have no idea what your everyday life is like. I don't know how you wake up, how you go to bed, how y'all work out arguments, what you've been through. Like I have no idea. So I will never say just because James, you got 20 years, you got 10, you got none of y'all are my goals. It works for y'all, and I'm glad you got there. But y'all are not my goals. What's coming out about Will and Jada? I'm kind of glad in a sense because I'm like, yes, please tear down this facade, this haze people have had of thinking they were the black ideal married couple. Y'all don't know anything about them people, and now it's coming out that they do all kind of just weird stuff that it works for them, or they've made it work for them because. Even when Will talks about it, it sounds like, you know what, he started just going with whatever flow to keep Jada happy because in their head, in their mindset, they are not getting divorced by any means necessary. So whatever happens, they're going to stick it out and work together, which is how it should be, I guess, to a certain extent. I ain't with that. I'm not doing all that. we not opening any kind of doors and having any open marriage, for me. So that wouldn't work for me. So.
Yeah, because like to piggyback what you said, like when they be picking these celebrities as couple goals, relationship goals and all that, I'm like, so damn, you ain't got your mama, your dad, your uncle, your aunt.
Well, we already know most of them ain't got that.
No grandparents, your grandparents or no brothers. So like, it's nobody you know personally that you know they flaws and everything that you that you don't that you know like I said, well just know personally, you know they flaws and everything. With these celebrities, you don't know they flaws. So when shit come out, then you damn to be let down because now you like. Damn, I thought their relationship was so perfect.
But no, that's the point. They don't know their flaw. That's why even like okay, like let's say as a therapist, right? Aside from it's just unethical to try to treat family or friends, whatever, it also makes no sense whatsoever because anything that has gone wrong with you or any kind of way that you've messed up or any kind of area in your life that is not just picture perfect, your family and friends don't respect you in the sense of, oh, well, let me listen to what you might have to say that might actually be beneficial. It's separate. It has nothing to, like that can actually help me in my personal life in growing and being better and doing better. Like the respect level is just not there because now I know your flaws. I know what's wrong with you. I've seen where your shortcomings. So now since I know all that and I see all that, it makes it harder for me to actually say, well, let me listen to you any kind of way or take your advice in any kind of way. Like I'm not saying they won't come to you. They might still come to you and ask you and all that kind of stuff. But it's gonna be one of those things. As soon as you say something they don't like or whatever, it's gonna whatever.
So like I've been married. Like I said, I've been married 18 years. But I tell people all the time, do not make me your relationship goals. I tell people is your relationship goal should be the best husband and the best wife you could be to your spouse. That's your goal. That's it. That's all. Don't make the shit complicated. That's your goal.
And to do that, I feel like you got to know that person.
That's a bar.
Like,
I mean, a lot of people, and I'm very honest, like Donnie said. If you listen to the episode with my wife, I'll tell anybody that are listening, just like college, marriage ain't for everybody. Don't force yourself to be in a marriage. You know what I mean? Because some people are better off just cohabitating. Once you get married and that person is there all the time, as we found out during the pandemic when everyone was stuck in the house.
Yeah.
Like I say, you two ships in the night. When these two ships stop moving and y'all in the same port.
You're like, I don't even like you. I didn't know you breathe like that.
Like, damn, I didn't know you was like this. We've been together 5 years, but this is the first time we sat still long enough to really get to try and know each other. Now that we know each other, this shit ain't gonna work.
Right.
So, I mean, I tell people marriage, just like college, is not for everybody.
At all. That's why I be trying to show people my flaws early on, but I heard that runs people off, so I'm gonna stop doing that. But anyway,
shit, fucking show it in the beginning.
I do.
Motherfuckers tell me I'm an ass man. You an asshole. You too blunt.
I definitely don't agree with that. I don't think you should be showing your flaws in the beginning for what.
Because I don't have time to be hiding it. Look,
no, I feel like if I can't be myself, I ain't trying to be appear perfect to nobody.
I'm not saying you should hide them. I'm saying, okay, like you meet somebody. Yeah, it's like, why am I putting everything on the table now. Like there's no need to. Like if you're with me long enough and we establish something, you'll understand my flaws. You'll get to know my flaws. And some, if you tell me your flaw like right off the bat, it makes it hard for me to adjust to it. Whereas, if you give me, we kind of we done built a rapport, we done went out a couple times, I'm starting to develop feelings. Now I'm more liable to work with you on those flaws. So that's why I say, no, I wouldn't tell my flaws right off the bat. You gotta
I
find
don't
them
mean
first.
like I'm sitting here saying, hey, this was wrong with me. I'm saying like I refrain. Well, I kind of shy away from like if someone to come up that bothers me or makes me emotional or whatever. I'm less likely to sit there and try to hide it from you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm more than likely going to acknowledge that this upset me or whatever
But
because.
that's not
That's
a
not a
flaw.
flaw though.
But
That's not
people
a
no,
flaw.
see, no, people do see that as a. Let's say like maybe it's a different dating world. People do see
That's
that
not-
as a flaw because they see it as I don't know why, but they do see it as a flaw though, because it's like. Cause me, I bring it up because for me, I want to talk about it and get out the way and be done with it. Like that's my whole thing is about look, this I didn't like this because it made me feel this kind of way. So can we do better and move past this and not worry about it anymore? That's my whole thing about it.
But
But
that's the raw sewage in the dating pool
but
because they're running off because you're trying to sort of set your boundaries and shit early, which is good. I think for me, I think that that's good that you try to set your boundaries early. Like, look, I don't like I don't like the fact that you ignore me and watch the Cowboys on Sunday, whatever the case is, whatever it is. But at least if they know that up front, there's no reason to run. It's just like, all right, cool. Now I know I need to either tell you, cool, we're gonna do something after the game. If it's a late game, we're gonna do something before the game.
that
But I just
that's
need,
my
now that
Yeah.
I know
thinking,
that,
y'all.
I can work
But
around it.
but again, see, I think you used the wrong term because
Yeah,
it's not a
I
it's not
said
a
I
flaw.
know I used the term that was given. That's what I'm telling y'all. I used the term that like I told y'all been out the game. That's why I said y'all might not be able to relate. Y'all been out of it for a minute. I used the term that was given to me. That's how you just said. That's my thought process about it. I'm like I'm
I
saying this so we can
mean,
resolve it, so it can be
I
fixed and
mean,
not
look,
be an issue.
single or married, I don't relate to dumb shit. So
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. I
And,
can.
and
That's
here's
why
the
I
thing:
don't.
why does everything need a label, right? And if we are gonna label it, let's at least like label it the right thing, right? Like that's not a flaw. That's yeah. Like I said, like, I was kind of split on that one actually. Like because I'm like you, I prefer to like talk about it like initially. The sooner I know about it, the better, right? Because I know
Yeah.
what I'm expecting, and then I can say, okay, look, I'm dealing with this, or I'm not gonna deal with it. But at the same time, to James's point, like if we on date like 3, I don't need like a list of your like mental health conditions or
Yeah,
what you
no.
consider to be your mental health conditions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think, I think that like it has to come out. They have to arrive organically, but I prefer sooner rather than later.
Yeah, but that was sitting there saying, not just sitting there, you just putting everything out on the table. It's like as things occur, you sitting there, addressing it as it occurs, instead of just sitting there just trying to sit there and hide the shit, and then the shit don't come out to like 8 months later.
Be stewing over it. That's why I'm telling y'all.
And you tear yourself up inside trying to hide the shit instead of just being yourself and letting whatever your natural, self come out. It's like you just sit there trying to appear to be this perfect person, the perfect person.
So okay, so Scrap. So you haven't been. Well, I don't know. You might be a different kind of man, but you haven't been in that situation where a woman is telling you, "Hey, I don't like this, that." And maybe it's early on, and
Talk about, well, I had for one instance, I had a person tell me like she don't like to get told good morning and all that shit.
no. Wait. Okay, see, but wait. So okay, so was she telling you that because you were doing it, or was she just like random like said that?
Not because I would tell her good morning. And then like about the 4th day of the road, she was like,
Yeah, stop that.
Talk about you ain't got to tell. But then you have some people that want that because they like I should be the first person you think about in the morning, so she'd be texting me in the morning saying good morning
Did she like good evening?
and all that. And look, but look, and then and when I was doing it.
Wait a minute. What did Jay say?
I said, what, baby? She like good evening more?
But look, as I was, good morning, how you feeling this morning, and all that good stuff. So when I ain't do it,
She missed it.
no, I hit up like you said, and during the afternoon. Hey, good afternoon. Shit, how your day going? Shit, I had a wreck this morning. Oh, you did?
What you left it like that?
I hope you all right.
Oh.
So, but now it goes to back like when somebody tells you good morning, ask you how you doing, how you feeling, how your morning, like all that goes with it. But now, since I ain't do it, now you was sitting outside.
So for you
was sitting out there, you waiting for this, hours in the past, and I could have been like, when I hit you and told you good morning, whatever, and you told me whatever was going on, I probably could have left work and went and came and helped you.
I hope you told her that too.
But you get,
to be fair, look, okay, y'all know I hate devil's advocate, real quick. Okay. To be fair, she was just expressing that she didn't like good mornings. Now, that might be her thing. She might not be a morning person, whatever. That's her thing, whatever.
Why?
So she's just.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Who is a morning person?
I'm a morning
I am,
person
actually.
to a certain extent.
Yeah,
To a certain extent.
Please don't defend that because it makes no sense.
No,
Don't
I'm
defend
saying. So if she's that person, because listen, I've like gone to working places. And because,
Why?
like I said, I go in and I tell everybody good morning or whatever, and greet people like, oh, you too. That's why you like people. There are people that really are not morning people, so they don't like that. They don't like you being chipper.
And I guarantee you, the people that you talking about have serious character issues.
They might. She might have a character issue, but I'm just saying. But for her to just express that to you early on, that's something to catch. Now, her not reaching out to you when she went through something, that's just saying y'all weren't at that level for her to reach out to you. Like
That'd have been the end of that. That'd have been the end of that situation.
I would have lost her number with that one.
Yeah.
oh no, I don't deal with it no more. But shit, when that happened, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, all right.
I was just trying to play devil's advocate. Okay. Fine.
Nah, after she told me she ain't like good morning, that's it for me. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck don't like morning? Who don't like to be told good morning by the person that you're romantically interested in that you're dealing with?
I agree. I feel
you. You know what? And it don't even got to be a romantic thing. It's just
it's a common courtesy.
Some people are not morning. Some people are not morning people. Y'all know everybody's not a morning person.
I mean, like for me, I'm not a huge morning person, but I don't. To me, if you telling somebody not to tell you good morning, why the fuck are you waking up angry?
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like, all right, shit. Well, all right, shit. I have no problem doing that. I thought I was doing a good gesture. Shit, goddamn shit. Thought I was trying so much for me trying to be a gentleman.
And then you know what's real messed up? Like, on the serious note, what's messed up?
What?
He'll deal the gentleman who's telling the story. He'll deal with another woman, and he won't text her good morning, thinking about the other.
She gonna think it's something wrong with him.
Well, don't do. See, and that's why.
In a no-win situation.
See, no, you are. See, that's why and that's exactly why I was doing devil's advocate, because she was expressing to you what doesn't work for her. You can't take the same behaviors and attitudes to your attitude is your attitude, but you can't take the same behaviors to everybody and expect to have the same reaction. She's not a morning person.
No, I had a chick that looked forward to that.
Most of us are not morning people, but it's as simple. The man didn't call her. He said he sent her a text. Even if you don't even reply to the text, you just got the text. Like,
all right, she was grumpy. Look, all I'm saying, but don't let that. I would hate if you let that her reaction make you change for the next person. That's all. That's why I'm trying to.
Oh no. With that type of shit, can't one person make me stop doing something because the other person didn't like it? Because you don't know if the next person will.
You can check back in with her 20 years later. She's still gonna be single.
That means nothing, Jay. We're not gonna go there.
She need to change up her bedtime routine. Drink some warm milk or some chamomile tea or some shit. That's no reason. You just wake up angry talking about why the fuck is he texting me good morning?
Okay.
Damn, three mornings in a row? God damn.
She didn't want to hear it.
Oh no! God forbid the man that's romantically interested in me thinks about me the first thing every morning. God forbid.
That girl, she might have been wounded. She needed to heal. Look, y'all, leave that woman alone.
Oh shit!
All right.
What the fuck are we doing out here, man?
But y'all, this is what it's like. Okay, this is what it's like.
Tainted dating pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess the next question I have for y'all, I only had 3, but y'all, the next question I have for y'all is: do you feel like it's easier being single or married? I feel like I know the answer. What do y'all say?
It's actually easier being single.
You think so?
Nah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know the answer then. Okay, single for DeJuan.
Yeah. We get into it. What y'all got?
I know.
I actually agree. I actually would agree with DeJuan.
What? Okay. I don't know y'all.
I think it's easier being married.
All right.
I mean, DeJuan, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, because I
Unless
need
you
to
have
understand
something
now
you want to
why do you feel like it was easier being single?
Well, because you are only accountable to you.
Yep.
Okay.
You move and don't move and lazy and not lazy, all on your own schedule. As long as you got the electricity, you got, you know what I'm saying, like you got your electricity, you got your Wi-Fi. I could be at a bar right now. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like, because it's easier because I have to take a bunch of variables into consideration. As in, like, when I walk through the door, like, I don't know what mood my wife said. Like, I don't know how she slept last night. I might be like, "Good morning, baby." Don't fucking tell me good morning.
But she don't want that good morning.
Oh
You know what
shit.
I'm saying? So when you're only answering to yourself, I feel like that's a lot easier. But whereas being married, like, and again, this is not me. I wouldn't trade it for the world, right? But I you have to make a decision for the household at that point, right? Like, I was looking at boats online the other day, right? But now I'm looking at Dominic. All right, Dominic got to go to college. His boat. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas, like, if I was single, like, I would have never, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wouldn't be here. And
So just to be clear, you talking
I'm
about
only fine with
single,
me.
all the way single with no string, no children. You talking about just a straight up bachelor.
Listen. If I ever
Single
had,
is single is single.
yeah, if I ever had to be single again, nobody can expect no strings from me.
No, because
Nobody.
you would still, because now you have a son, so you would still have those same responsibilities to take care of, to
Yeah,
look out for somebody else.
to him.
I know, but you still have to. That's what I'm saying. Like I was saying, the
That's
life
different.
that you were
That's
describing was of ease for someone who had no responsibilities.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he'd be right there with me though. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to have like a kid, and you know what I'm saying. Okay, cool. Bam, I'm putting away in a savings account. His got residual income, this, that, and the third, right? Make those kind of moves, right? But now, you know what I'm saying. As a married guy, you're thinking about, okay, look, the wife and I ain't been out on the town in like a couple weeks. She's probably getting cabin fever. Let me start thinking shit I wouldn't normally do. Like on a Thursday night, like, hey, let's go out to dinner. But the game's on. She don't give a fuck about football, and that's shit I got to take into consideration.
Someone
Now,
else's feelings.
yeah,
Okay. James, you agreed. I'm gonna say. I want to say because the only one who went my way
Because
was Ringo, so I'm gonna say him for last. So James,
because see, you got to realize the question you asked. Your question was your question was which one we prefer. Your question was which one is easier.
no, I said which one
yeah,
is easier.
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's why it's single because he DeJuan basically said it. All you got to worry about is yourself. Like when you're married, you're compromising 24/7. Marriage, that's all marriage is a compromise. Like
Fact.
you gotta remember, the key to a marriage is two people becoming one. So what that looks like is you compromising every day, all day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely harder than being by yourself.
All right.
Fact.
Okay, Ringo. Let's see what you come through.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you. I'll explain it like this. I think it's easier because, for me, I'm just a natural like protector. You know what I mean? If I don't have anybody to protect, it feels weird. And like I said, my answer stems from like my younger brother passed away. So once my brother passed away, it was just me. You know what I mean? So now I lost that always feeling like I had somebody to protect, and that also I'm reckless as hell with money. So having somebody to hold me accountable when it comes to shit like that is very necessary. When I say reckless with money, when I was in my 20s, when I had my first son, I have 2 football jerseys that cost me total $750, and I still have them. I have not worn them in almost 20 years.
What?
That's what I mean. If I didn't have somebody to
Throw it away.
sort of check me, because I know myself, I'm one of those people that need to be checked from time to time. So that's why I think being married is easier, because I have somebody to hold me accountable. Because like I said, if I'm just able to run free, I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to run free. I'm going to take care of what I need to take care of, but I'm also going to fuck money up.
Let me find out you were making it rain in the
They
club.
say the bills gonna be paid, but shit, I'll be
Shit,
sitting on the
it'll be
couch.
paid,
I'm
but
gonna make it through the
I'm gonna
week.
buck up the rest of it. That's me. So
Okay.
I mean that's why I think it's easier, because like I said, I like that. I like having that feeling, knowing that I have people to protect, meaning my wife and my sons. And then, like I said, on the other side, I need that accountability partner. As Donnie likes to always say, that the accountability
That's
piece.
my favorite word.
But no, I
That's-
like having somebody to keep hold me and keep me accountable for shit because like I said, I know I would run wild if I wasn't married.
Hey, Ringo, wait. So when your partner is holding you accountable, like in that moment, is not frustrating to you? Like right. You understand what I'm saying?
It depends on how. how
Look, the
it
wall
comes
like he
out.
frustrated now. Just thinking of
Because I'm not because I'm not easily bothered or offended by a lot of shit. So it depends on how she come at me. But then, like I said, if it does get to that point, I'm gonna jump my ass in my truck and I'm gonna go take a drive, and that gives me time to think about it. Then I could come back and be like,
Okay.
all right, I see your point, but I need that minute to to get.
Nah,
my
that's a bar.
yeah.
No, because I think just like James was saying, it's a compromise always. So it's kind of like so in the time when like even when I'm getting checked, I don't like that shit. Like I don't like just nah. But I mean, I'm 100% honest. Like a lot of the times on certain situations, like she knows way the fuck more than I know. Right. And logic would say yield to that. But my emotional side don't like that shit. Like, yo, who the fuck I work and I do and like you said, I gotta take a drive, right? But so even on the drive, I'm like, God damn it, she right. I gotta go back in here. I shouldn't argue with it. I might hear this shit. But it's gonna be good, right? Because at the end of the day, the marriage is always gonna win out, like over everything. But like circling back to what I was saying, like I think it's easier to be single because like those moments of frustration right there, it wouldn't be none of it, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like even though she's right.
But that's the part where I say I know myself, I would run wild with it because like I said, I don't like for me, I've never like I have a very small circle of friends. I have two friends that I've had since middle school. And that's because I can't stand yes men, yes women. I don't want somebody to yes me to death. I hate that. Don't
All right.
yo, I'm doing so and so. That's why I said the accountability piece. That's where my wife comes in because me and then I know this is a little off topic. Like I can't stand timid people or timid women being around me. If I'm fucking up, I need you to let me know. Don't let me fuck up to the point to where it's bad. It's all bad. Then you look at me and go, you fucked up. Well, you should have told me that 30 minutes ago.
So,
now we in the back.
gentlemen,
Now we in the back of this police car. It's too late.
I'm trying to get there. Gentlemen, get there respectfully. So, is it fair to say, because I think what James said, like I used the wrong word, so to speak. So, is it fair to say that maybe married life is appreciated more than single life?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the word. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it sounds, even when y'all say, yeah, it was easier, y'all appreciate y'all wife's input and what she brings to the table, what she has to offer to that relationship for you and how she makes you better, right?
Yeah, because you gotta keep in mind, easier doesn't mean better.
Uh-huh.
Right. Right.
It just means easier.
Okay.
Just because, yeah.
I just wanted clarity because the last question, and this is going to kind of be more of a wrap around because it's going to be wrapping it up. But the last question I had was, so, when I was doing my little kind of lit thing for September and I was talking all that, and I talked to all of y'all. So I was asking all the men, like at the end, hey, what makes you feel safe in a relationship? All of y'all were saying basically, essentially, being able to communicate with somebody, that person that you are able to freely, openly, honestly communicate with, share your feelings, whatever it is, whatever that looks like for you, that's what made you feel safe, right? Would y'all agree? Did I get that right? All of y'all said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's funny to me that in this dating world we're in, communication is like the hardest struggle that everyone seems to be facing and everyone wants so bad. Like women, for the most part, if you ask them, everyone wants someone who they can communicate with. Like that's the breakdown, that's the whatever. So the reason why I say it's interesting is because when I also look on these pages and when they say, okay, men, tell women your grievance or what can women do to make it better for you or whatever, it's like I stopped looking because I used to look to see, okay, I'm trying to look, I'm single, I'm trying to take notes. How can I improve? But one thing that would always get said over and over and over and over again was shut up, be quiet, stop talking. So, and I'm like, why do y'all want women to be quiet? Like, if y'all want to be heard, why do y'all think we don't want to be heard? Like, it's the communication is a two-way street. If you don't understand that, that's a problem.
But you're taking it the wrong. You're taking it the wrong
Yeah, I
way.
don't think they talk about that when they say that. Though.
So break it down. Like how y'all seeing that when they say that?
So when we say like quiet, it's more like peace, right? Like take like so when well in my experience, I won't speak for these two gentlemen. In my experience, like when my wife wants something done, like she wants it done, like she wants to go, she wants to go. If we were supposed to do it like and I didn't do it for whatever reason, right? There's nothing. It's like she can't move past that point until it gets done. Like fuck the fact that you know what I'm saying, how many hours I worked, what else I had to do, what else got distracted, what's that and the third. So like and I'm gonna hear this, right? Oh wow, I told you this on Tuesday. Here it is Thursday at fucking midnight. You still ain't got it done, and this needs to get done, and this needs to get done because this, and this. And if this doesn't happen, then shut the fuck up. Right? And obviously, I don't condone talking to her like that.
Okay,
but, I mean,
this in your head.
Oh no, not yet. We could talk shit well in our head. We
Oh
definitely.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. This ain't coming out loud.
Okay.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
But it's kind of like, yo, shut the fuck up, right? And that's the thing. So when men say, in my opinion, when men say that they need women to be quiet, it's so that you can attentively listen to what I'm saying, right? So like, because I think that a lot of the times when we all craving communication, but in order for communication to work, you have to be speaking the same language. And if you're listening to respond to me versus listening to understand where I'm coming from, that's not effective communication. So I may as well go argue with the fucking stop sign.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Before I answer, I'm gonna piggyback off of what DeJuan said. The only reason the reason I see damn, I forgot. I'm having a brain freeze.
Donnie, me, hell,
Donnie,
hi.
yeah,
Talk about
I'm
me.
sorry. The reason
The host.
the reason I can understand,
Shame this man.
no, I'm gonna make up for it though. The reason I understand what she's saying is because she's right. Like nobody wants to hear you. Like if you're looking for an answer, you don't want to see a person saying be quiet. Now the way you explained it, it makes sense. But I've seen those same comments in these posts and all these gentlemen saying it's be quiet, shut up. First of all, it's rude, and you're not providing a reason. Like when you go on these posts, these men are not saying what you just said. They're just saying be quiet, shut up. There's no substance to that.
At all.
So
That's
that's why
It's because they all think they Kevin Samuels, bro. Like,
yeah,
But they've been doing that way before Kevin Samuel. That's why I'm saying,
Right.
I'm like, at this point, I don't even look anymore because I'm like, it's gonna be the same old shut up, be quiet, shut up, be quiet, shut up, shut up.
But I will, but the thing, but here's the thing about communication. Like, first of all, it takes time. Like that's the thing people don't account for. It takes time to build that. Like it takes trust. Like you don't have good, open and honest communication with somebody that you haven't built up trust with. And you got people who they've only been seeing each other for a month or 2 months and they expect this great communication. It's not gonna happen. It takes time. And the reason people are having so many problems is because they lack patience. Like you have to, when you're getting into these relationships, you have to give it time. Like that's a relationship is all about progression. So you're not going to get what you want in that first 1 to 3 months. The communication you want, the trust you want, that comes with time. You're building it. I can't come to you and be transparent and open and honest. Woman, I don't even know you.
fact.
I don't even know
Okay.
you. Why am I pouring my heart and soul out and we only may go on 4 dates?
That's a
Look,
fact.
I just got hit by that. I lack patience. I know I do. It's my struggle. So it's something I know and I acknowledge and I try to work on it. And that's why when I was telling y'all, when I say my flaws, the reason why I express things early on is because I'm like, okay, I know I lack patience. So I'm going to try to tell you when something bothers me so we can work on it. And so I can start seeing, if I see progression, I can deal with that as opposed to no change.
You're
Like,
gonna have to work on that. You're gonna have to work on your patience.
if I see no change, if I done told you, hey, I need attention. I need attention. Okay, I need you to call me or talk to me or say something nice to me once a day. Something. I need attention. If I come and tell you that's a problem for me in some kind of way,
But that's different.
and
though.
you really don't do anything. Like you don't call a little bit more. You don't. I'm like, okay.
Okay, but let me interrupt you for a second. I've been married 18 years. My wife tell me the same stuff for the 18 years we've been together. So what makes you think in 3 to 4 months you're gonna get what you want?
That's a fact.
James, I said progression. I said I need just an effort.
No, but it's never gonna be enough, right? It never is. Like his wife would tell him the same
Right.
thing for 18. I'm pretty sure Ringo's wife would tell him like some of the same things for like and the same. Like it's never gonna be enough. It does not matter. Like and that's what we're saying. Like, but as men, like and that's part of speaking the same language. As men, we become extremely patient. Like I become way more patient as a married man than I was. Listen, if my wife was my girlfriend, I'd be single again. Like you understand what I'm being 100% serious. There's just some things that like you know what I'm saying that she has I don't want to say privileges, but like there's a certain level like of more patience that she gets that comes along with the title of wife. Yeah,
I get it. I told y'all I'm a work in progress. I know my fault. I'm working on it, but that's my issue. But go ahead, Ringo.
But you know what, Donnie, to speak to the communication part, especially now, the biggest problem with communication is that, excuse my language, but these motherfuckers don't know how to talk to each other. Put a phone in their hand and tell them to text it to each other. I bet you the communication is 10 times better when you're texting each other through, talking through the phone that way. If you ask them to talk face to face, that's where the issue comes in because they're not used to that. They don't know how to do that now. Everything is done, via text, email, whatever the case is. Because think about it, when you go out to dinner, half the time, you see, you're gonna make me curse all through this, but you're going to see these motherfuckers sitting at the table, taking pictures of their food, they texting their friends, girl, we out here, yo, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. And that's what I mean. So they don't know how to verbalize how they're feeling or whatever to each other. So that's why you see a lot of the shut-ups because you're asking the question and the first thing that pops into, I want to say at least the men's head is face-to-face conversation. And nowadays, they don't know how to communicate with each other face-to-face because everything is done through the damn phone.
Yeah, because soon you walk out that door, shit, you going to get a whole paragraph of goddamn.
Exactly.
So we could have told me that shit when I was in the house.
Exactly.
but the only dangerous thing about what you said though, Ringo, because you're not wrong. But the dangerous thing about text, when you upset, you read them angry.
Exactly.
So it's like
and
a lot of times the text message was more harmful than words because when you mad, it's natural. Like your wife texting you reading it like you reading it in her angry voice. You typing angry, you just reading it angry. You typing it angry. You replying back angry, and next thing you know, you got about 25 to 30 angry text messages going back and forth.
Saying the same shit over and over.
Go ahead. I was gonna say what you want to say, DeJuan?
No. So I was just at this life coaching workshop, right? And that's actually like a new method they tell us coaches to like offer to to like younger couples that are struggling with communication. They tell them to sit back to back with a pillow in between them and like facing outward, and they text the shit to each other, like what they're talking about, because like they're not comfortable with like face to face, so like shit gets like misinterpreted. And then once they're ready, they turn around and play the 3-question game. This is what you said, this is what I heard, and here's what I understand from that. Like after they're ready, after they get all of the angry shit out, like or the whatever they got to say out, they send that via text and they turn around and they talk. Like it was crazy. It was the craziest shit ever. So I'm sitting in the back like, what the fuck, right? But that's got to be something that's like at my disposal to offer to like young.
I'm about to say, I think
younger people.
I think that only works or that matters if both of y'all are in that space of being texters. Like if if that's how both of y'all communicate, then that exercise to me would be awesome. That exercise for someone like me would frustrate the hell out of me. I am not sitting back to back with you texting no dang on me message and we sitting right here. If you don't turn your ass around and talk to me, that would bother me so much.
you really you really have to. It's a balance. You have to know when to talk and know when to text. That's really what it is.
Yeah,
You
that's a
do.
fact.
You do.
Or
And that's
just
why I
don't
said,
talk.
like, you got
Or just
it's
don't talk
about, I
at
guess,
all.
just finding your person and who matches you and whatever. But woo, child, y'all, we could have gone on and on and on. So, but we have to wrap it up. So before we go, I just want everyone to just tell me your takeaway from this conversation. And I'm gonna start out of order because I've been going when we go first. Go ahead, Dewan.
Take away from the conversation. I feel like that there is a huge there is a huge disconnect in terms of like communication. I'm happy to be out of the dating pool. I'm happy to not be swimming in there anymore. But the takeaway from the conversation is actually what James and like Ringo, somebody who's more seasoned in the marriage game than I am, and how like they've been able to like drop like a few gems here and there about like how they did and the patience they exercised to make it work. So like that'll be something I'll be internalizing and looking for ways to like improve upon myself. So thank both of you guys and thank you for having me here.
Thank you. And Mr. James.
Yeah, first, I really appreciate you inviting me to your platform. What I need, what I take away from this is y'all single folks, man. Y'all gotta work on y'all patience. Y'all gotta work on y'all timing. Y'all need to take the time. The best advice I can give y'all: take the time to know each other. Like, if you're interested in the person, focus on that person. Like, is you could read 100 books, but if you don't know the person you're dealing with, then it's pointless. So just get to know the people that you're really interested in. Like, take the time to know what makes them tick, what upsets them, what makes them happy. Love languages, like that's the biggest one. So
Okay.
get to know the person you with is my biggest, I would say, advice.
All right. And Mr. Ringo.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many things to show. I had my notebook out and I was taking notes. But no, I would just say, I don't know, like Dewan said, that this dating pool is. I feel
Y'all stop
sorry for
being
y'all.
discouraging. I'm still in the pool.
I'm
Like
I'm gonna, I'm gonna have to pray for y'all on Sunday. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Say the pool got pee in
we got a
yeah,
lot of stuff in it.
it got that sludge from The Simpsons, that green shit in the dating pool. But no, but I mean the communication part, I think is a really really big thing, and I say people need to honestly put your damn phones down. There's no reason, what I mean, we're in the same house and you texting me from the other room. It's
That's
just stupid shit. I hate that.
I do
You know
too.
what I mean?
Look, I'm not gonna
I
start.
would rather you yell out the door from upstairs wherever. I would rather you yell than text me and we're in the same damn house.
I feel you.
You know
That's a
what I mean?
fact though.
And
Put the
You,
phone down.
you wouldn't
Talk to
make it
each
in this
other.
house then.
I'm gonna let my co-host wrap it up. What did you take away from all these married men? These
shit.
happily married men.
That I need to be looking forward to getting married so I get dressed the right way.
Address it right. Get your, okay, I got it. Well, I enjoyed y'all conversation immensely. On that note, I can't wait to have continued conversation with y'all. Look, I was gonna say something. Dewan is a testament, but I don't have time. Dewan was a testament of me working on my patience with people and giving people second chances. And we've already talked about it though, because
Fact.
that we had an encounter that had me feeling like I don't think I want to talk to this guy. But I gave him a chance, and I actually enjoyed this conversation, and we had a lot of things alike in mind, like-minded things in a lot of ways. So I was like, you know what? Ooh, child, let me keep working on myself. let me keep, allowing people that grace period, maybe a little bit longer, a little bit, wider, so to speak, because you never know what you're going to get out of somebody when you actually give them that chance to open that door. And so I appreciate it. I'm so glad I opened the door for all of y'all, and I got a chance to get to know
Thank you.
all of y'all. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
coming on my show. Like I said, I can't wait to work with you again. But until next time, people take care. God bless. And remember,
Side. Drop your diamonds.
bye.